Hello friends, welcome back to Reach Soul. This time we are back with our book, Women in the Bible and Me, and we're gonna have the second story all about Hannah. So Hannah and me. Let us try to know her story and see if there are things that we can relate to her and on how she was able to become a great mother to her son and to be able to fulfill her promise to God. So the story of Hannah is like this. So it all started with her husband Elkanah. Elkanah actually had two wives. So first is Hannah and the second one is Peninnah. But then, although Hannah was favored by Elkanah, she was not able to bear him sons or daughters. Her womb was barren and closed. On the other hand, the second wife, Peninnah, bore Elkanah lots of children. Because of this, Peninnah always bullied and provoked Hannah, saying that she was not blessed by the Lord. One day, as they went to the Mount of Shiloh, as was their custom, so yearly they, they go to that mountain to offer sacrifices and to worship the Lord. So again, Hannah was bullied by Peninnah because of her um, situation that she was not able to bear Elkanah, an heir or a son or a daughter. Because of this, Hannah was so depressed and distressed, and she went inside the temple, cried bitterly to the Lord, and asked him to bless her, saying that if the Lord will bless her, she will offer the son to him all his life, that he will be able to serve the Lord forever. So as he was crying bitterly, he was pouring her heart out to the Lord, but without saying anything, and only her lips moved. That is why she was mistook by she was mistaken by the high priest Eli during the time as a drunken woman. So Eli said that you should not drink inside the temple or you should not drink at all. And then she reasoned out that actually she was not drinking. She was just praying to God. And so she related to him her longings and her desire and her petition to the Lord. Then Eli said, "Go, because your petitions are granted by the Lord." So she went home, and suddenly her disposition was changed. She was so joyful and happy because she believed the high priest and she believed that the Lord has granted her prayer. So fast forward, few months later, she was able to deliver a son, a healthy son, and she named him Samuel because she said that the Lord has granted her petition and heard her prayer. Samuel, because she said that the Lord has granted her petition and heard her prayer. Years later, after the son was weaned, he said, "For this child I prayed, and the Lord has granted me my petition. Therefore, as long as this child lives, he is the Lord's." So let us relate this to us. How many of us begged the Lord for something or for someone? We cried bitterly and we poured our heart out to the Lord. And then when our prayer was granted, how many of us was able to fulfill just what we promised? So sometimes we we make we make covenant with God, like pinunta na, Lord, kung for example, no, for teachers, Lord, kung makapasa na ko sa board exam, ako dyan na dyan ko buhaton, Lord, para nimo, or may mag-inani na ko, Lord, or buhatag ko, Lord, inana. So how many of us that after the Lord has granted our prayer and during the time we're so sincere with our prayer. Then after the Lord has granted our prayer, how many of us was able to fulfill what we promised to Him? Okay. Then for Hannah, her request, her petition was granted to the Lord, and she fulfilled her promise. Hannah dedicated her child to God, and that determines his entire life and destiny. Along the way, you can say that in the life of Samuel, he became one of the greatest prophets, assisting the kings, like King Saul and then King David later on. And we can say that his life, his profession was really what God willed for him. And it's really his destiny. Now let us read the words of wisdom from this book. As a mother, Hannah had a sacred responsibility entrusted to her. She was the one who molded Samuel's character and taught him to have a strong faith. From his earliest childhood, she sought to lead his thoughts to the Creator. When separated from her child, she continued to lift him up in prayer every day, and even many times a day as she went about her work. Hannah's reward was to live to see her son become a blessing to the world. 1 Samuel 2:26 tells us, Samuel grew in favor both in God and with men. As women who are entrusted with the spiritual growth and character development of our youth, we have a worthy example to follow. So in this story, it is so amazing and it really inspired us a lot as mothers out there. Diba, dako kayo taong responsibility para sa atong anak for their future, especially in introducing God to them. Tell them of His greatest love for us and how He was able to create the entire universe, and especially how He was able to create us. And here it was said that we have this sacred responsibility nga to mold the character kay, di ba? Wala man tayo lang madala sa langit kundi ang ato ang character and ang atong family. Kung magkakuyog ta dito sa langit, wala na tayo lang madala kanaan. So it's very important that we are able as parents, as mothers to embed sa atong mga anak kung unsa gyud ang mga maayo nga mga pabatasan, maayo nga unsa po ang mga maayong binuhatan sa Ginoo natin. Because of our faith, diba yung no? Even if they were separated, because diba iya man nga gidala ang iyang anak kasi Samuel dito sa temple para matrain ni Eli. But then her responsibility and her devotion did not stop there. So unsa di ang gibuhat every day iyang ang giapil sa pagampo ang iyang anak. So inani pud sa ato na when we pray to God, dili lang about ra sa atong kaugalingon, kundi most especially as mothers ato ang anak atong yampo sa Ginoo. Dari nga Hannah's reward was to live to see her son become a blessing to the world. What a joy and what a fulfillment as mothers, as parents, no po. Makita na to itong mga anak nga nagdako sila nga matinud-anon, mga buutan ng mga bata nga dili lang jud ang sense of pride na amagid na nga ma-proud ka sa tong anak, pero ang kalipay good na makainga nga Lord, worth it good ang akong ang mga sacrifices, ang pag-train sa akong anak nga mahimo siya nga active nga soldier para sa imong kingdom. Na most especially here it is said that as women we are entrusted with a spiritual growth. So mo ni pinaka-importante, dili nga as mother ang atong pinaka-importante gud kay ato siyang mapadak mapaeskwela og mga hindi kay mga eskwelahan nga mahimo jud sila nga professional nga tatas jud kay silang maabot. So secondary na lang na siya, ang pinaka-importante is ato siyang na paila-ila sa Ginoo, unya atong ma-instill sa ilang mga minds, silang mga hunahuna nga ang pinaka-importante dili gyud ang kung unsa imong mga ma-achieve sa kinabuhi, kundi kung unsa ka, ang imong character. Kaya at the end of the day, dili man mo ang Ginoo nimo nga, "Uy, Rachel, imong anak nahimo ba na nga abogado? Nahimo ba na nga pilot? Nahimo ba na nga kanang dako nga tao sa community?" No. God will ask us, imong anak nadala ba nimo sa ginharian sa Ginoo? Nadala ba na sa langit ang imong anak? That's the most important, diba? So in here, Hannah is we can say that Hannah is a very successful mother. Kay nahimo niya, na-train niya ang anak nga muserbisyo sa Ginoo, sa tanan. Let's read the sharing part. Every woman is able to reach out to children and touch their lives for good. We may not have children to whom we have given birth, but every child in our sphere of influence is someone we can bless with our time and encouragement. Our love and tenderness will give them hope and a desire to live better lives. So, of course, dili man siya tanan mga inahan. So, naiuban nga still they are praying for this blessing, and the same with Hannah, no? For those who are watching, dili man siya tanan makaanak ditso after maminyo. Pero si Hannah, like Hannah, I know some of you perhaps are also longing for that child. Ihatag sa Ginoo. But then, I know God is listening to you. He knows your pain. He knows yung mga yearning. Kaya mo siya tanan sa itong mga desire. And I believe there is a right time for that. And of course, you have to have the spirit and the faith. Para ni Hannah nga, if you really want that, I know God would also love that for you. Kung mo i-pray sa Ginoo, sincerely, pangayoon niya. Kabalo ang Ginoo kung sa iyang pangayan ihatag niya sa iyang tubang para niya. Perhaps we just need more prayers, and dili lang ka ikaw. Pray with your husband and pray with your family, friends, mga spiritual brothers and sisters na makatabang ninyo, because the prayer of a good man availeth much, diba? Ang prayer sa isa katao na matarong dako kayo na siya tabang, so dako kayo power kung daghan ang mga pinabangay kong pag-umpot. So not lose hope. I know, I hope, and I believe, I pray na mabutigin siya ng blessing. So just like Hannah. Another one, or kung ang answer sa Ginoo is no, that is His will for us. Naa siya laing plano para nato. There's another purpose. And gingon na rin nga, we may not all have children to whom we have given birth, but every child in our sphere of influence is someone we can bless with our time and encouragement. So, dili lang kaya ang ato lang anak, kundi ang mga bata or ang mga young people na pwede na to mataga ang time, pwede na to ma-influence. So, just like teachers, di ba? We are the second parents to them. Or, kanang atong mga pag-umangkon,ig-agaw, mga bata nga, pwede na to sila masultian, pwede na to silang matrain, pwede na to silang ma-influence to do good and kindness to other people. Our love and tenderness will give them hope and a desire to live better lives. So, ang atong pagpupugma and ang atong kanang mag-model ta sa atong kinaiya. Maka-inspire po na sa mga bata panatanaw na to. Na mahimo silang better version sa ilang mga kaugalingon. I think that the I think this will I think this will be all for today, and I hope, friends, that you enjoy this story, the story of Hannah. And I pray nga itong tanan kung sa may tumanizar sa Ginoo sa pagkasing-kasing itong masulti niya, and most especially sa atong mga promise, sa atong mga promises na atong masulti niya as atong huna-huna nga kung bagon ta sa Ginoo kung matag taog promise kung but anyway, sa tanan na to nga gi-vow or gi-promise sa Ginoo, I hope na the same with Hannah kaya na to. Imagine na ang iyang gipangay sa Ginoo maura po iyang gi-promise kung balik sa Ginoo, ba iyang giampo sa Ginoo iyang anak, pero unsa man kaya niya i-let go iyang anak para ibalik ra po sa Ginoo. Na ka-strong ang iyang faith. Kaya ba na nato? And the answer, of course, lies in ikaw rin makatulog. So again, hope you enjoy this episode, and I hope that you will stay tuned for more episodes the same ani ra gihapon nga book, Women in the Bible. That would be all for today. Again, thank you for watching Rich Soul.